The land at the foot of the African continent is a land of challenge. It is a melting pot of many peoples, many cultures, many differences, many problems. It is also a land of change, a land whose peoples realize that they must build a new nation, a new South Africa for all, by learning to live together, not apart, by building bridges of understanding, not barriers of suspicion, by respecting, not exploiting one another. It is a lesson that is long in the learning, a slow, often painful lesson as the world watches. And yet, through it all, shines a reality of love, a deep-rooted love of this beautiful land, with the power to unite all its peoples.
There are so few places in the world now where one can really hear nothing except natural sounds. Our world is bombarded by aeroplanes and motor cars and jackhammers. And our hearing is going. And it's something that I find on the trails that I take, these foot safaris into the wilderness of Umfolozi Game Reserve. That sometimes it takes anything up to 3 days before people actually start to hear what is going on around them. I mean, I've had lions roaring 150 yards away, and people haven't heard it.
Africa has something special, and anyone who's lived in Africa will say that. It's very hard to define. You can talk about the beautiful sunsets, the people, the climate, the sea. We have a wonderful coastline, the wonderful swimming, the game, etc. That's all part of it, but there's something in Africa that grips you.
You know, it's a different world in there. It's a very, very different world. The rest of the newspapers and radio and television and the enmities that might exist outside are not apparent there. And one goes back into a timeless world, which I think we all came from originally. You know, that's another reason why people want to come to Africa, and that recent film, Out of Africa, is an example of the tremendous attraction of Africa to people.
In South Africa, you can still see 1,000 springbuck disappearing over a sand dune. You can still see 500 elephant. Around another corner, you can see a pride of 20 lion. I often bring people from the United States and from Germany and from Japan to South Africa. And to me, it's a wonderful experience to see them getting hooked on this landscape, because I can show them anything. I can take them for a walk along a beach, not just a little walk, a 20, 30-mile walk without seeing another human being, and then into the rock pools, get some crayfish, cook it in a kerosene can, and sit there drinking your chosen drink and enjoying something that I don't think can enjoy anywhere else in the world.
And I think lots of countries can offer you scenery and the normal kind of tourist attractions. But to me, finally, what makes a country interesting is its people. And from that point of view, South Africa is magnificent place to visit.
The people who come here really come mainly to look at people. I mean, people are really interested in people. And in this country, there are, I would say, some of the most interesting people of the world. I mean, this is a country not only of one group of people. I mean, there are 18 different groups of people in this country. I mean, even in the white groups alone, you have people who are descended from the Huguenots and from the Dutch, and you have people who, like myself, come from English extraction.
The first Mayberg came out before 1700, but the Mayberg who bought this farm in 1756, well, that's when they started farming, really. To give you a bit of a perspective, what's interesting is that to us in South Africa, 1756 doesn't sound that far away, you know, but if you think that that was the year that Mozart was born in, it gives you a bit of perspective.
Well, our family came out from Australia originally in 1862, and they settled in the district, and they were farming in those days, and we've established ourselves here from that time until today. So we've been sugar farming almost since 1862 in the district.
I don't see, it's been so long ago, you know, I don't see myself as coming from Europe anymore. I don't see Europe as a homeland or fatherland at all. I'm an African.
We're both of Afrikaans stock. English is not our home language as such. But we love South Africa because not only is it our country, but it's the only country we have. We feel no attachment. I don't feel any attachment to my roots in Holland or my wife to her roots in Switzerland. We feel a total, full, bound, almost with steel attachment to South Africa. We'll never leave it. We love it, and it is our country, and we will stay here until we die.
If you look around this country, I'll tell you what you'll find. You'll find flowers, you'll find creatures of every different kind. You'll find plains and you'll find mountains. You'll find sand and you'll find the sea. You'll find 30 million people busy making history.
Our great trek is over. We can't go any further north than where we have been. So there is only one trek left now, and that has got to be the trek inside ourselves. And I believe that is happening. And I believe that the people who come here unconsciously realize that. And that's another reason why this country is so interesting.
I think more and more people are realizing, you know, that we have made mistakes in the past for various reasons. And certain of the things that has become part of South African society must change, and it must change fundamentally.
And you know, it is only after a nation has suffered that the true qualities begin to show. And I think that we are suffering, and I think that the true qualities that we do have are now becoming more and more apparent.
The Dutch Church declared itself more than willing to be instrumental in creating the best future, a happy future for all the people in this country, because we stand on the viewpoint of the equivalence of mankind and that every person is created in the image of God and therefore must have the opportunity, the equal opportunities in this country for a fair future for themselves and their children.
Tula tu, tula baba, tula sana, tulu babu zofika eguseni, tula tu, tula mtwana, tula sana, uzodlule ntabeni matafeli, kukwinkanyezi eholelu baba.
I went to a school which was all white. In fact, when I was at school, there were no such things as integrated schools. And I thought when I first began to teach children of mixed races, it would be difficult because I would naturally feel the difference. But I never, in the beginning perhaps I did. Now I never ever see a child as a colour, ever. It is always just a child, and they get on so well, and it's just a happy thing.
Most of my friends are white here. And all the other black people are all my friends. Sometimes I play with the white people, sometimes I play with the black. Sometimes I play with them together. It doesn't matter to me.
When I'm in a room with black people, Indian or coloured people, I don't think of their colour. They're human and they're friends. I like them. They're like any other person.
Ek dink die jong mense van Suid-Afrika.
I think the youth of South Africa differ from the older people in that they're not so closely bound to the past. Perhaps they don't feel so strongly about history and their ties with days gone by.
If one looks at the future of our country, it basically lies in our hands. And if we don't learn to mix with each other at an early age, it will be extremely difficult to mix, you know, when we get out of school and start having jobs.
Well, I want unity. Not that the whites must go away. I want to live with whites together with them. Just school with whites, everything done together. That's what I want in South Africa, me, myself.
I mean, I don't look at whites as my opposite group in a sense. I look at them as probably my brothers. I would like to treat them as brothers in this country. I think there's a lot of things, if you're talking about them, what we have, in fact, what I have managed to discover. Although there's a lot of things that still needs to be worked out, like attitudes has to be changed. There's a lot of goodwill amongst many whites in this country. There are those, of course, who will certainly resist change. But there is that commonality which actually ties us together.
From the outside, people really feel that we don't want to live together, or we completely hate each other. And then that's not that. That's not right, you know. But I want to tell you that concert in the park, that was history in the making. I think it was for the first time, you know, in this country, that everybody, you know, felt he should give a hand. I never heard it happen before that, you know, people of all races meet, you know, go for a cause. I mean, for charity, really. But now, I don't think they thought the response was going to be as big. I want to tell you, that day, I said, people don't believe it can happen, there it happens. I wish, you know, everybody in the world could have been there, you know, to see the vibe of black, white, you name it, together. Huh? Together and having fun. confused at this juncture. And they don't see where everything is leading to. You know, it's like, okay, today is that, tomorrow it's that. But everybody has got that feeling that, gosh, we've got to do things together. We have got to do things together. But now, how? How is it going to be implemented?
The organization is Let South Africa Speak. It's an attempt really to try and diffuse the tensions in the country, and also at the same time to create a way where people could come together to discuss the future of this country. We, in this particular area, which is Cape Town, we are busy trying to gather small groups of people by having workshops, and sometimes just coming together socially to talk about things, you know, to look at the problems, and at the same time removing the fear that people have about one another, you know, as people.
I think it's actually quite exciting, you know, and the response we're having and the success we're having. We have an organization called the Rural Foundation now, which is countrywide. And we all work together. We have monthly meetings. I have a committee on the farm. We meet every Tuesday evening after work and we discuss problems if there are any.
We find that by getting a number of different people and across the color lines together in a certain district and get those people to talk about their own things in their own area, about their own lives, you get a very high quality of solutions.
I've learned a tremendous amount. I'm also conscious of black people as people. Genuinely, I used to see, unless I was personally associated with a black person before, I used to see them as a mess, separate from me.
I think where we've gone wrong previously is that we've tried to do things for them instead of things together with them.
So we need to reach out to each other. It might be hard, it is hard. We don't know how to talk to each other. We don't know how to relate to each other. We'd rather do the thing, be patronizing. Or otherwise you have the reverse and say, look, I don't want to meet up with that person. Now, we need to do that. We have to reach out, but we have to find a common ground. Where do we meet? By active involvement in projects, like what I've been doing here.
People and the attitudes of people will change this country. With that, I would include government, but I think that government must be representative of the people and the people's attitude.
We need to come together. We need to look beyond the government. We need to look at the future of this country, and we have to determine the sort of future that we want. It will not be determined by the government, but by us as people in the country.
I understand that there's a scare psychosis, particularly in America and Europe, about South Africa. Even the Americans wouldn't travel to Europe this year for fear of a bomb scare. But I believe that this country is such a beautiful country to see, from a scenic point of view. And those people who are prepared to come here, I believe, are as safe as anywhere else in the world, will see at first hand what South Africa is really about, can talk to blacks and whites, coloreds, Indians, find out what really is happening here.
People must come here and see this country, you know, this lovely country, and see the people, how we live, and see how we live.
I just think one could spend a month in this country and have the most glorious holiday and the most fantastic learning experience about how life is in a country which is changing and about to change probably even more dramatically into a far more multiracial country. I think that it really would make a great learning experience and a great holiday.
Because this is where man evolved. And I would say to the world, come back here. Come back to home. Come and see what the original home was really like.
Never was a road so long that wasn't shortened by the first step. There never was a night without a day. We know the road is hard, so we need one another. Together we'll have to find a way. There never was a tunnel that didn't show the light. No journey ever taken that didn't have an end in sight. And we must show our love and respect our fellow man. Let's get it all together and we'll win through in the end. Let's show the world that's trying but doesn't understand that the sun will shine again on our land. The sun will shine again on our land.
Come, and you will recognize this love. You will feel it all around you. And when you return home, you may take something of it with you. For it is the love of a land which, if its people succeed in their mission, will bring a message of hope to the world. A living example of the triumph of unity over diversity, and proof that it is possible for all on this planet to live together in peace.
And we must show our love and respect our fellow man. Let's get it all together and we'll win through in the end. And let's show the world that's trying but doesn't understand that the sun will shine again on our land. That the sun will shine again on our land.